Hello, users, and welcome to the first episodic installment of my new series. This is going to be a political and news oriented series. I've decided I'm going to name it Above It All because, and for the first and foremost reason, I am better than everyone else, both ironically and then also unironically. So it's the double dip, the double whammy. So yeah, basically, I'm just gonna make an episode that's kind of an introduction, and so that way I can kind of, if need be, I can point to this as kind of a general understanding of what's going on here. So over there, or there, this way, yeah. I've got a little poll going on. You can just look at it. Bernard Sanders tied for first in Iowa. I'm just saying, it's good news. But with that aside, I'll probably talk more about that later. For those of you that don't know, I'm a very political person. I've been basically spending the last 2 years with politics and history is my main kind of hobbies outside of video games. I wanted to do this for a while, but my thing was I don't want to put myself out there and say things that are really stupid and then regret it, because I've been down that road, and basically I kind of wanted to give myself enough time to kind of develop and learn a lot about kind of like fundamental things before I start making these kinds of videos. But I feel like, now's a good time as any to start. 2020 is around the corner. It's actually right here where we are currently inside of 2020, which is not a new decade. Just want to say the new decade is when we know who the next president is. I'm just saying. But so the first primary or caucus is actually in less than a month. So I figure now is as good a time as any to kind of start getting out there more. I've made political videos in the past, just when something really funny happens or something I really want to talk about happens. But now I'm going to kind of make it a more regimented. There's no going to be set length. Basically, every time I see a news story that I want to talk about, or, a combination of news stories, I'll put that into one video. And I'm going to try to make this less droning on and on and on, but I do drone on and on and on a lot because I have a lot of things to say. I say a lot because, it's one of those things I've noticed that most smart people, and of course, as the name suggests, I'm the smartest person if in any room. I'm the smartest person in my room, but I'm the only one in my room right now. So, by default, I win. So, but yeah, so I've noticed that a lot of people, when I make a lot of videos, one of the most common tactics that people will do when they disagree with you is you say a lot. So I just want to give that out of the way. I say a lot. If that offends you, if that triggers you, I suggest that you leave, or you can post the comments about it, and then I can block you from the channel, whichever one you want to do first. Just whatever. Yeah, so basically, I identify, if I were to label myself, I identify as an anarcho-communist or anarchist communist, or either or. In my sense of the terms, they're basically identical. I would love a communist society, but I don't like the thought of it turning into like a Stalinist society. So my whole point of anarchist communism is communism, but with a very big focus on personal freedom and making sure that there is no kind of state apparatus or individuals that basically control what you're allowed to do. And I feel like that is not like, I don't think we should dissolve the federal government tomorrow. I'm not a libertarian or a dumbass. I understand where we are in the historical timeline of the human species. So that's kind of the main thing that separates communism and anarchism from, honestly, it really is kind of sad how the right wing has co-opted anarchist. When people think anarchist, they think like libertarian garbage, and that's not me whatsoever, so I just want to clear that up. That's me. I would identify as a socialist. I would identify as a social democrat, a democratic socialist, whichever one you like more, whichever one gets most people insured healthcare, whichever gets most people education, whatever the path is. that gets to that, where we have a society that there's no such thing as a rich person. Rich people as a concept are completely eradicated from society. That's my goal. And do I think that's achievable in my lifetime? I mean, I'm only 23 at this point, so probably, maybe. Well, I don't know about probably, but I'd like to say maybe. And that's kind of my goal. Right now, Bernard Sanders is the biggest kind of step that we can make as far as a human species is as far as the human species is concerned. I believe Bernard Sanders is the best possible way to achieve a communistic society. So throughout the next year, I'm going to be talking about Bernard a lot, and depending on how this election goes, well, I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff. But I don't want to keep it to be all about electoralism. I do want to have kind of a, it's not just going to be news stories about polls, so it's going to be more philosophical stuff. It's going to be, might make a video on a specific subject that has nothing to do about politics, like political candidates, that kind of stuff. So it's not just going to be about poll numbers, but as of this current context, and again, understanding where we are as a species in history, the election is really important. So that's going to be the primary thing that I'm going to cover, I think. Not, primary thing. Get it? If I had the care, I would edit in a fun sound effect or a laugh track, but I'm not going to do that. This is going to be organic. There's going to be little to no editing in these videos. As far as the frequency of these videos, I'm probably going to be pumping them out just whenever I see something. I'd like to say every day, but I might skip a day, and I've said things like every day. I've said that before, and oops, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to promise anything. Whenever I see something and I have what I want to say about it kind of concentrated, I will make the video. If I say something incorrect, it's bound to happen. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to be perfect. I'm currently the best human being alive, so it's so far so good, but I'm not perfect. So if I make a mistake, feel free to let me know. As far as debates go, I have debated libertarians in the past. Just because they're the most fun to debate, honestly. If you find this video and you are a libertarian, or even better, a yang banger, who, basically a libertarian but too dumb to realize it, feel free to let me know. I would love to debate with you. You can add me on Discord. You can find my Discord actually on my website, right here. So if you wanna see that, if you have a libertarian friend who thinks they know what they're talking about, tell them to hit me up, and I'll hit them up, and I will make fun of them, but in a very intellectual fashion. I'm a very sarcastic person. I try to be I'm a very sarcastic person. I'm just going to leave it at that. And I want one more thing to those. There's a lot of people, sometimes when I upload political videos, especially now, or especially before I kind of had like an actual channel segment for it, a lot of people would say, not a lot, but I've seen this complaint in an introduction. I wanna say, first of all, if politics trigger you, if that offends you, it's like, oh no, my favorite video game is talking about politics. Like, I've seen that happen before. It's like, I subscribed because you play Doom. I like Doom, but I hate politics, so unsubscribe. Like, okay. First of all, fuck you. And then second of all, fuck you again. And that's all I have to say for that. But yeah, if you see any news stories, let me know. Send me a Discord message or post it in the Discord chat. I want to do these as often as I can, and there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to cover, especially now that I'm actually getting the ball rolling here. So I'm probably going to make a lot of videos about very specific things in the near future, especially once the actual primary elections start happening. Iowa is on February 3rd. If you live in Iowa, you have to caucus for Bernard. If you live in any other state, I live in North Carolina. My vote is on Super Tuesday on March 3rd. If you have to vote, if you live in the United States, let me put this simply. If you live in the United States, you must vote. Whew. I've been talking too much. I had too much coffee today. You must vote for Bernie Sanders. Like, this is an imperative goal. If you don't vote for Bernie and you have the potential and capability of doing so, right? You're not like, you weren't purged in any capacity. If you do not vote for Bernie, I don't think I can be friends with you. I'm just saying this blanket, and people can maybe criticize this. There is no other option. If you care about healthcare, if you care about climate change, if you care about like school, if you care about war, especially with the war in Iran kind of thing, this kind of horrifying, if you care about literally anything, you have to vote for Bernie Sanders. It is a must. And with that being said, hopefully I've introduced myself in a good enough fashion. I said I wouldn't drown myself out with nonsense, but I've realized that I've said the same thing over and over again, and I've kind of reached my peak. I'm kind of spitting. I got a lot of saliva. I'm just leaking right now with saliva. I can't contain myself. So in order to avoid further embarrassment, I'm going to turn the video off, and I will probably either see you tomorrow or tonight with an actual news story. I might make one about Bernard winning in the polling for the first 2 states. Huge, huge, huge. And there's lots of stuff to talk about. So if you don't like politics, go fuck yourself. If you do, hopefully you like them a lot. I don't know what else to say. So I'm going to look at my cell phone. I don't know why I should turn the video off, but I'm going to see how long people stick. I'm going to look at the YouTube analytics and look at the audience retention and see what percentage of people made it this far. Probably like less than 1%, you know? If you're a true fan, true fan, like capital T, capital F, right? TF, right? Team Fortress. I'm a gamer. Maybe you're not a gamer. I'm a gamer, so I don't like Team Fortress. I'm going to turn this off.